Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria, where we are currently kind of chilling. We may have gotten a little bit of infamy last episode. We do have at least one more war in us in this game, and that war is going to be linking up with Armenia. So that will be absolutely wonderful. At this moment though, we're just chilling. We need to do some building, and we need to deal with our... Well, we're running a deficit, but we've got a lot of gold reserves. So I don't mind it. Why do we have so many unrealized taxes? Where's this average tax waste from? Okay, fair enough. So that's all stuff that we'll need to deal with eventually. It's fine. So as we can see, we took a bit of a hit to our standard of living, and that's because these areas up over here, not so great. We're working on them. We need to get the railways done, and we need to get the power plants done, and that's our primary goal for right now. Okay, we're running a solid surplus at this moment. We may want to think about... I was thinking about expanding our construction, but honestly, a tax cut might be the way to go. This number's fluctuating a lot, though. Let's see where it settles before we decide on that. Okay. As of right now, I'm not thinking a tax cut sounds great. We'll see. We will see. We're up to 60.8% literacy, so that's something. We are still fine on our innovation, for now, so that's absolutely okay. We're working on oil turbine, and that'll be done fairly soon. Oil turbine is going to be a huge deal for us. Absolutely enormous. And that will be a very good thing. We produce plenty of oil, and I think we can even produce more, can't we? Ah yeah, we can definitely produce more oil by a pretty wide margin, and that's really, really good. So that is absolutely phenomenal. We're currently about 11 months away from finishing up this mega construction queue. We've been working on this one for a while, and we'll get that finished up very, very shortly. I want to check in on our peasant and unemployment count. Okay, our population graph is still broken. I don't know why it thinks we've always had 110 million population. We have not. So that's still broken, and the loyalist graph is only for the last year. Same with radicals. The literacy graph is not broken. The GDP graph is not. I don't know. We've always had 110 million population. I don't know what you're talking about. So at 110 million, how are we doing compared to Ukraine? They're at 1.81, we're growing by 1.41, they're growing by 2.08. So they're growing faster than we are. That is noted. So we clearly need to do something about that. Ukraine have begun embargoing us, which is not particularly shocking. I'm deeply unsurprised about that. They're antagonistic towards us. They're pretty angry about what we did over here. And I can't say that I blame them. So I want to go into our diplomacy map mode here and look at our subjects. So Armenia is currently high, going up by 0.08. So infamy is a big part of the reason for this, and that's not terribly shocking. Okay, we need to let our infamy drop. That's all there is to it. We just gotta chill. Oil turbine is done now. That's a huge deal. I'm going to change all of our electric plants, rather, over to oil turbines, and that's going to be insane. We can move that down. That doesn't really affect anything, but that's fine. This is going to be insane. This is going to absolutely spike the price of oil, tank the price of coal, and be utterly bonkers for electricity. So that's going to be exciting. We're going to need a lot of coal. Or rather, not a lot of coal. We're going to need a lot of oil. Our coal is going to drop. Yeah. We're actually not maxing the price of oil, which is surprising to me. But I do want to maximize our oil production at this time. So I'm going to queue these up. This is not going to the top of the queue, unfortunately. That's in Persian Kurdistan, but I'm still going to build it. Okay, let's just get all of these built up. This is going to be quite a lot of production here. And do we want to move this up to the top of the queue? Well, that's a distinct possibility. A lot of these are, in fact, within our market, although some of them are in Al Said, and that's understood. So what I want to do now is I want to move up all of these oil rigs, and we can see we're going to be constructing oil rigs for about a year. And that's understood. So this is going to be kind of tedious to move all of these up, but I do want to get going on that. We need to get some oil production rolling. What's going on in Mosul? 68%. Oh, we just conquered this. Right. Yeah, that's fine. So a lot of this is in the territories that we just took over. Although we also have some African territories here, and that's going to be a lot more efficient for us. So building these first is absolutely great. We are delighted that it just happened to be in kind of this order, where we're doing Africa first, and then we're doing the Middle East. And that seems great. There's a lot of these, though. There's a whole lot of these. And I want to go through the list the other direction as well, and move those up. So this is going to be a lengthy process to get all of this set up. But we want to maximize our oil production for right now. Oil is going to be a very big deal. Wow, this is more than I thought this was. Okay, there's some iron mines. So let's go this direction. And I'm looking for any additional oil rigs that might be in this area. And no, there are not any. Okay, so that's fine. We'll proceed from here. And now we're building 1, 2, 3, almost 4 pages simultaneously. That's close to 10% of our overall construction happening simultaneously. That's kind of insane. Now, we do need a new tech here. And what do we want to go for? I'm thinking that we want to go for arc welding. So that'll be fine. We'll get our production of our construction boosted up significantly from that. That will be absolutely great. And yeah, we're running into some construction efficiency issues here for sure, but I'm not terribly concerned about it. It's fine. Okay, Javan people are immigrating. Sounds great. And we just need to get our infamy down. If we can get down below 50, that's going to be a big deal. It's going to be dropping, but it's going to take us about another 10 weeks to get down below 50. So that alone is going to be huge. So we're delighted about that, of course. We would like to get our subjects happier with us. So we may want to work on improving relations with some of our subjects. Let's go into diplomacy here and let's see. So here's Armenia. We can't do anything here. Oh, these are just overlord actions. We can decrease the autonomy of Iran, and we probably want to do that. And that will increase liberty desire of everybody else. So that's understood. We're going to continue to work on bringing this all down. These guys might demand independence, and if they do, we'll fight for it. Hopefully Ukraine would come in. We'll see if that happens. Make protectorate in Ethiopia from Ukraine. Okay, that's in Kaffa. So Kaffa is these guys here. Understood. Ukraine is making moves down this direction. There's not a lot for us to do about that right now. Minus 24.3k, but we're still at only 52% increase in price. That's insane. Okay, well, we're going to be producing a lot more oil very soon. So that's looking great. We're getting done with a lot of this oil production. We are, of course, going to need people to work in those jobs. They'll get there eventually via migration, pop growth, things like that. I suspect a lot of those areas are going to have significant job openings, shall we say. But that's okay. They'll be well paid, so people should migrate. So that's absolutely wonderful, and we'll just continue to work away at these oil rigs for a while. This is about half, right? Yeah, this is a little bit over half of what we have queued up here is oil rigs. So that's understood. We're going to be just absolutely pumping out the oil for a while here. Perfect. We are now down beneath 50 infamy. So I want to check in on Maghreb and see how we're doing here. This went up because we lowered autonomy on one of our other vassals, but there we go. We can see that we're now only at plus 0.1 from infamy. That's a very big deal. So this isn't a linear scale, it's a threshold scale, it appears. When we drop below 50, it went from 0.25 to 0.1. So that's good to know. That is very good to know. So we'll continue to work on that. Our infamy needs to drop, our construction needs to continue. We gotta get this oil pumped. But we have a lot of oil queued up, so that should be absolutely fine. I think we're going to become the #1 producer of oil, so that would be absolutely wonderful. Let's check here. We're the #2 producer right now. We're behind Ukraine, but not by very much. So yeah, we're almost certainly going to become the #1 producer of oil in the world. That will be great for us. We've got a lot of oil available, and we'll just continue to work on through here. We're apparently not working on this oil rig in Tripoli. I don't know why. We'll probably get there. Okay, so that's all looking good. We are a bit short on iron. We're pretty short on lead, but there's nothing we can do about that unless we captured more lead mines. Did we? Actually, we did. I'm going to put these lead mines up at the top of the queue, and we'll get to work on those. We do have some iron mines that we can move up in the queue as well. Those are way over here. Those are sulfur mines there, logging camps. Our iron mines are actually close to the bottom, aren't they? We have a couple of iron mines here. Okay, I'm going to move up the iron mines that we have in the queue. That was a fishing wharf because it changed the page we were on. Let's move that fishing wharf back to the bottom, and let's get these iron mines built, the lead mines built, and we'll keep working on the oil rigs in the background. So that looks good. We're now addressing everything that's up here, and that looks great. We're up to 623 for our GDP right now. We're still a ways behind Ukraine. They're getting close to $1 billion, but we're getting there. We are absolutely getting there. So we need to let our infamy continue to drop for a while here, and it's going to be a bit of a construction period. And a lot of this construction is relatively inefficient, so that's noted. We're still only 20 months away, though, so that's really not bad. Yankee mass immigration from Newfoundland. Why are there so many Yankee people in Newfoundland? Okay, I don't want to know. It's fine. So at this point, we're at 112 million population, and looking in at our peasant and unemployment numbers, they're definitely continuing to improve. I don't feel like we need to increase our construction speed at this time. I think we're absolutely fine on construction speed. And we're going to be finishing up these iron mines eventually. I see that we're now a bit short on steel. So that's noted. We may want to consider getting a couple of steel mills going in here. Let's see what we've got. Syria? Sure. I'm putting in 6 in Syria for right now. So we'll get those going. That'll be fine. Are we still working on oil rigs in the background? Yes, but it's only a couple of them. That's fine. We don't really want to work on other things if we can help it, but we'll get those steel mills underway. We got the Be Prepared achievement again. I think we already got that this playthrough. Okay. That's exciting. And the iron mines are going to be done in about 5 weeks here. So that's looking great. The lead mines are a ways behind that. This is, of course, because we have reduced construction efficiency in our new territories up over here. And this is not at all surprising. So that is absolutely fine. How much population growth are we actually getting from immigration? Can we see that on our overall... This is our census data here. I want to see it for our overall country, how much immigration we're getting. I know we can see it on a state-by-state basis. So if we were to, like, go into Palestine, we can see, yeah, we're getting, like, 10K weekly here. That's a lot. But I'd like to know how much we're getting for our overall country. Maybe we can see it in the... No, I don't think it would be in the ledger. Migration. This is every state in the world. Okay. But we can see that by far we are getting the most immigration. Britain, Norway, there's some Ukraine in here, but we definitely have a lot of immigration happening, and that's absolutely fine. So let's clear our locked map mode. That'll be fine. We had a general die. We should probably replace him. Anyone who isn't a member of the Rabbinical Council is a priority, but we'll go with this guy. It's fine. So I don't think anybody's really going to mess with us at this point. Now, we're going to be finishing up with the steel mills in about 12 weeks here. We have finished those iron mines. So if we want to get more iron, we will have to queue it. We have no additional iron in the queue. Everything that we queued up previously has been built. And we're probably going to want to do that. We're still at minus 4.53k. That's understood. We're going to be done with lead mines here in about 5 weeks. I don't want to queue up additional iron while we still have all of these lead mines being worked on, I feel like. Of course, oil is still our big lack, but we're down to 20k for our deficit now. The price of oil is trending downwards, and that's looking absolutely fine. We're not surprised about that, of course. We've specifically designed it to go that way. Excellent. So these lead mines are about to finish up, and the steel mills are 8 weeks away from finishing as well. So we'll get those going. What's going on here? Probably the Rabbinical Council winning. Yeah, that's for sure. That's okay. So the lead mines are going to be done shortly. There we go. Most of the lead mines are now completed. We've got 3 weeks on some additional. But let's go ahead and think about, we can make more oil rigs in Arabistan. I don't really care about that right now. We've got a fair amount of locations that we can build iron mines in, though. And I want to get... This is not all that much, to be honest. Yeah. This is in Constantine. I don't care about that right now. Let's just queue up into Breeze, and I'm just going to filter by state here. There we go. So I'm going to do domestic constructions, and yeah, I'm aware that this is all net negative for right now. This is probably due to a lack of... Okay, we need some infrastructure there. This is probably due to a lack of market access in some of these areas. No, not here. Okay, what else do we have here? Hermia. Okay, we'll get that going. That's up at the top of the queue for right now. So that seems fine. We'll get to these external constructions later, but for the moment, that seems okay. I want to hop into our railways and sort by infrastructure. We clearly need some additional infrastructure here. This is 30 infrastructure per level, so that will be sufficient for now, but we'll probably need at least one more later on. Okay. And then what do we got here? Israeli Croatia has one going in. We'll need a railway here. And then this railway needs to be subsidized. And then we need a railway here. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to go into state actions, reset production methods on everything that's over here. So not in Deir ez-Zor, but everything that's out over here. Okay. Looks like we can't do it here. Did we miss a power plant there? It's in queue. Hang on. Did we not complete this power plant? We did not. Those should be moved up. There we go. That will be absolutely fine then. So we'll get those completed. That power plant in Urmia, I was under the impression all of these completed, but no, they did not. And that makes sense that they didn't complete. So we'll get all of that done. Our iron mines are going to be finished up soon enough, but we are still working on oil rigs in the background, and that seems wonderful. Okay, so that is all going very, very well. Our GDP is continuing to skyrocket, as we would expect. We should eventually catch up to Ukraine, I think, but we'll see if that happens before the end of the game or not. We've only got 12 years, so that's understood. Power plants in Urmia are proceeding here. 2 weeks on that. So that's looking great. We've still got 21 months in this construction queue, allegedly. I think it's actually going to be a little less than that because we're still building in a lot of pretty low construction efficiency areas. That's absolutely understood. And we'll start getting to areas like this soon enough, and it'll accelerate quite a lot at that point. So that seems fine. We'll just continue to work on this. 20 months isn't so bad. It really, really isn't. I'm also thinking about a tax cut. Done. I'm cutting the taxes, but I'm going to put in a consumption tax on radios to counter it a little bit. I do want to run a deficit here, and a pretty hefty one, so a tax cut, I think, is in order at this time. We just have a lot of gold reserves, and I'd like to work through that for the time being. So that sounds good. and we'll run this deficit for a while. We are, of course, going to grow our economy, and eventually this deficit will go away. Oil rush subsidies, huh? Oil will definitely last forever. No, we'll shuffle the expertise into manufacturing. It's fine. Okay, so at this point, these railways, they're all going to be finished up fairly soon here. The furthest one out is in Urmia at 51 weeks, and fair enough. This is pretty low construction efficiency over here. Quite low, in fact. So that's fine. But we are going to be working our way through these oil rigs pretty soon. I want to check in on what we've got going on over here. So, minus 4K. Minus almost 10K. And minus 17K. So oil is definitely improved. No doubt about that. And we shouldn't really have much for electricity shortages in most areas. East Houseland has got one. And actually, this does need an expansion. So we can do that. And we're also running an electricity shortage in Persian Kurdistan. This just needs to be subsidized. So that seems fine. We'll get that going, and this power plant will be done in 12 weeks. We do have some transportation shortages ongoing here. So that definitely needs an expansion. And then this here, we're working on the railway. In Tabriz, we're working on the railway. In Urmia, we're working on the railway. So that should all be underway. Looks good. So at this moment, let's check in on how our vassals are doing. Armenia's not very happy right now. Understandable. Our infamy is still pretty high, and we're working on bringing that down. Bahrain is not very happy. Going up? Sure. Iran is going down, and it's going down by quite a lot, actually, so that's looking good. Kermanshah going down, Khuzestan going up, or going down, rather. Lebanon is holding, and then Maghreb is going down by 0.06 weekly. Okay. So that sounds fine. We're just going to keep chilling on our vassals for right now and just continue working our way through our construction. We got to get this infamy down. That's a very big deal. It's got to continue to drop. So we're going to get all of these railways done. The power plant in East Houseland is going to finish up. The iron mines are going to be done fairly soon as well. That's all looking great. And then, of course, we've got a truly ludicrous number of oil rigs to still build. But we're getting our way through that. We're down to 20 pages of oil rigs, so that's looking good. Actually, we're closer to like 17 pages of oil rigs, I think. So yeah, that's looking absolutely fine. Everything is looking good here. We just need to finish up these railways for right now, but yeah, this infamy, this is our primary issue right now. This is the thing that's stopping us from doing, like, military conquest at this moment. So that's absolutely understood. We're still working on some colonization. That's slowly proceeding. Speaking of which, do we need to do any more incorporation? The answer is no. We could swap over here. Hardwood production, I don't want to change that. Steel hulls to wooden hulls, I don't want to change that. Or that. Hardwood production is fine. This can change. And this can change. Okay, perfect. So that looks fine. We're now on the production methods that we want. And we're going to drop down below 40 infamy very soon here. In just a couple of weeks. We do only have 4 railways being worked on now. That's good. And we're finishing up all of our iron mines now. So with all of those iron mines coming online, that's looking good. We don't have any additional lead that we can produce, sadly. I wish that we had more lead that we could produce, but we do not, and we're going to be working very heavily on our oil rigs. How are we doing on that, anyway? We are down to... Oh, hang on. Stop moving around on me. 16.8K? Much better. Much, much better. Okay, this is happening again. Understood. We'll see if we need to intervene in that, but for now, I'm not concerned about it. So we're proceeding forward here, and we're going to continue to let our infamy drop. It needs to drop by a lot. In theory. The infamy is preventing us not really from fighting. As long as we fight out over here away from Europe, it's fine. But it's mostly preventing us from integrating our vassals, which I would like to do before we get into Hoi, but I don't know that that's going to be a thing at this rate. We'll see. We might not have enough infamy to pull that off. So for now, we're going to finish up these railways very, very close, and we're just waiting on these oil rigs and infamy. It's all proceeding nicely. We're getting close to 700 million on our GDP, but Ukraine has broken the 1 billion marker, so that is noted. But we're doing pretty well, to be completely honest. We're doing quite well. So that's all good. The oil rigs just need to finish, but it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we're going to continue to chill, let our infamy drop, and get this construction underway. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge SQL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.